All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Over the Top Talk podcast. I'm your host, Owen, and my co-host is Anthony. How we doing?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
Perfect. And our special guest today is Jennifer Thomas.
Yes. Hello,
How are we
everybody.
doing today?
Doing excellent now that I'm here with you guys. I look forward to answering all your 10 questions, and this will be fun.
Awesome.
Perfect. Get started with the first one. What inspired you to become a wrestler?
Okay, well, I've basically I moved from Seattle to Los Angeles to pursue fitness and bodybuilding, and I ran into pro wrestlers at the mecca of bodybuilding, which is Gold's Gym out there. And I didn't even know who they were at the time. So, like Mark Henry, Luther Reigns, they would approach me and they would talk to me, and they planted the seed of pro wrestling. And I never thought that I could do it, or I didn't even think I had an interest in it. But I was kind of getting burnt out on the whole bodybuilding scene and wanted to show that I had some, that I had more to me than just muscles to show, and I could do something with it. And so I started with UPW under Rick Bassman in LA. That's where John Cena started, and The Miz started. And it was the best place for me to begin my career. And I haven't stopped. And that's been since 2003. And now it's 2024, and time does go by fast. I'll tell you that.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How would you say that you prepare yourself physically and mentally for a match?
Thankfully, I have my fitness and bodybuilding background, so I'm constantly in the gym and always feel the need to stay in a good enough shape to where I can handle the wrestling. Mentally, I freak out. I think I freak out more mentally than I do physically, just because I feel like I have a lot of athletic abilities, but as far as showcasing and being a performer and getting myself out of a shell, that's more challenging for me. So usually I just kind of say my prayers before every match and ask that I stay, that I'm able to put on a great show and that I don't get injured. And so far my prayers have been working, and I love the challenge of it. I love pushing myself to where I'm uncomfortable, but yet once I do it, I'm very happy with myself. And that's what wrestling does for me.
Awesome.
Perfect. What would you say is the most challenging part about being a wrestler?
Dealing with my own thoughts, actually. I think the most challenging is having the thoughts of self-doubt or doubting your opponent sometimes, because you've never met your opponent before and you don't know what their skill level is, and you're kind of like, am I good enough to lead a match type of thing? So that's really been challenging for me, is just my confidence as far as how well can I do this, and how well can I carry my opponent if she has less skills or less training than I do. So that's been the most challenging for me.
Awesome. How do you handle the physical toll that wrestling takes on your body?
It's a great question. I just deal with it. I suck it up and I deal with it. I mean, what else can I do? There's really nothing I can do. I mean, I don't go to a chiropractor. I don't do chirotherapy. I just, suck it up. But I did have a herniated disc for a long time, and that really took me out of the game for a little while. So I just had to rest. I had to just do nothing for a long time, and that really bothered me a lot. So sometimes it's just resting.
Awesome.
Are there any wrestlers that have inspired you?
Well, when I first started wrestling, before I even knew I was going to be a wrestler, it was Chyna. Chyna inspired me because I loved her strength. I loved the dominance. I loved how she went, she wrestled men. That was right up my alley. I loved every moment of Chyna, but then when I entered into OVW and started training with WWE, I really was a big fan of Beth Phoenix. I thought she was the full package deal as far as a female wrestler. And same with Natalya Neidhart. So they really inspired me, and that's like, they're the full package deal to me, and that's what I've always wanted to be, is the full package deal. So I was really grateful to have that opportunity to train with them and do matches with them and work with them, and they've been great. I miss them a lot because I've lost contact with them, but between those three, they are the three that really truly inspired me. And same with Trish Stratus. She did too, because I think Trish Stratus, she started off as like a fitness model, and she really put her heart and soul into wrestling, and she turned out to be a great wrestler as well.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Is there like any pressure that you feel performing from like large crowds?
Yes, I get more nervous in front of large crowds because I feel like there's a lot more energy going on, and how to manage all that energy. And then you have to, like I said, you have to do a lot of performance in the ring, and you have to remember your spots and get your character out. And your whole job is to entertain the crowd. It's not so much doing hip tosses and body slams and jumping off the top rope. It's about telling a story. And if you fail to tell a story, well, then all those high spots mean nothing. So it does get a little nerve-wracking in front of larger crowds, because you feel like the expectations of you is a lot higher.
Definitely.
Perfect. Have you had any like funny fan interactions?
Funny fan interactions. Oh, goodness. No, but I do remember I did a show at UPW where a fan jumped inside the ring during a match, and that fan got a major beatdown from all the other wrestlers. But I haven't encountered anything personally, but I do remember that one incident, and I'm like, wow, like fans better like know to like keep their asses in their seat, because the wrestlers protect themselves pretty good.
That's awesome. Can you like share any advice to people that want to become a wrestler, or like young wrestlers trying to get bigger?
Absolutely. I think the number one, like the advice that I can give to people that are just starting wrestling, is you need to stick with it, because the first few months are going to be really, really rough. You're going to want to quit, because you are abusing your body, and you literally have to condition your body to get its ass whooped just to get through the drills, and I know that when I was started wrestling, a lot of people quit. And I even wanted to quit. I was going to quit. And then I remember I was driving to class, and I saw a billboard. I was going to turn around and go home. And right when I was about to take the exit to turn around and go home and just say, I'm done with it, I saw a billboard, and it said, follow your star. And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, I need to keep going. Like, don't be a quitter, and just go for it. And keep with it, no matter how much you're bruised, and no matter how much you're bleeding because you've ran the ropes so many times. You get marks on your back from running the ropes, and it's you just stick with it, and eventually that one day it'll click, and your body no longer is suffering. It just adapts to it, um, and then that's where you feel comfortable. And so to the newcomers, it's just work on it, don't give up, and make sure to work on your personality and your charisma and your promos and everything like that too, because character is such a big importance too. And I kind of feel like I lacked that character part of it. But we're always a work in progress, so don't ever beat yourself up too much. Just keep on keeping on and practicing, being consistent, so just don't quit.
Awesome.
All right. What would you say is your favorite match you've been a part of?
I know that I did one with Beth Phoenix, and that was my favorite match. I don't remember much of it, but I just remember being in the ring with her and being very comfortable. Like, meaning like I knew that like if anything was to go wrong, she would make it to where it didn't look like it went wrong. So, and plus she inspired me, like I said. So I think she was my favorite match back when I was in OVW, and that was like, over 15 years ago. And I haven't really wrestled that much recently, but yeah, I also like Katie Lee Burchell. I don't know if you guys remember her. but I've wrestled her on several occasions, and I love wrestling her too.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I know you said you haven't wrestled much recently, but what would you say is like your dream with wrestling?
Ask that one more time. I'm sorry.
What would you say that your dream is with wrestling?
Well, it used to be with WWE, but unless they create a Golden Girls division, I don't think they're going to hire me. But I still am able to make a career out of wrestling, and I still wrestle, and I actually hold my own events, and I have my own wrestling talent around the world, and they're all women. So I've been doing my own shows that are all female based wrestlers, and that's been great for me. I love it. So in my mind, I feel like I'm doing everything that was meant for me, and I'm still get to wrestle, whether it be behind the scenes or in the match, or so I'm able to continue it on, but in my own way. I'm not really pursuing the whole WWE thing anymore. I'm just making it my own.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So that's all of our questions. But for everyone that comes on, we kind of give them a chance to like promote any like social medias they have, like anything like that. So we'll give you the floor to do that.
Okay, awesome. Well, my Instagram is wrestlejenniferthomas. Same with my Facebook, and then my Twitter is @realjenthomas. And Paul Heyman actually gave that to me. He was doing my Twitter for a while, so I was very fortunate to stay in great contact with Paul Heyman. Was the Paul Heyman, one of the Paul Heyman girls for his Heyman Hustle, and he was a great mentor of mine, and he still is. But yeah, those are the 3 platforms that you can reach me at. And I would love to hear from anyone that wants to ask me any questions or find out when my next event is, which will be in Las Vegas in a couple months.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. We thank you for coming on and, giving us your time to do this. So
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Anthony. And thank you, Owen. You guys have a great rest of the evening.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. You as well.
Mm-hmm.
See you later.
Bye.